Hey guys, so today's video is going to be a foundation review on the LA Girl Pro Matte HD Longwear Matte Foundation. And this launched pretty recently, but there are a few video reviews on this app already. And I've been so curious to try this out because I'm always down for a full coverage and matte foundation. So this is described to have a soft and sweet-like finish, and it's supposed to keep you covered and shine-free all day. It's supposed to have a creamy liquid formula to provide smooth and buildable coverage, minimize the appearance of pores and fine lines for an even soft focus effect. And it is paraben-free with added vitamin E, B5 and sunflower oil. So this retails for $10 on the LA Girl website, and you can also find them in some Ulta stores. I got mine off Amazon for $12.99 with free shipping. So there are 14 shades to choose from, and the one I have today is the 4th shade called Natural. So for reference, I am about NC20 in MAC and 120 in Maybelline's Fit Me line, and I also wear the number 21 shade in Korean foundations. So those are some foundation references, and again, I am using the shade Natural in this foundation. I'll be priming my face with the Kiss New York Mattifying Primer because this doesn't have any claims to like fill up pores or control oil. So this will truly test the claims of the foundation and see how long it can truly last. Also, I'll be testing the foundation out for about 3 days or something with like different primers and powders just to determine what is best for this foundation and really see how this foundation works out. So I'm just gonna use a brush to blend everything out. This is the Bare Minerals Perfecting Face brush that I received in my BoxyCharm. It does have a nice light floral scent, so that is pretty pleasant unless you are sensitive to scents. So this is how one layer of the foundation looks like. Pretty nice. It really evened out my skin tone and reduced the redness of my skin. There is still like some blemishes peeking through, so I'll try and spot conceal them, but for now it did like make my pores look a little bit smaller. Not everything though, just certain areas. And it does have a nice matte finish with like this smooth suede feeling as they've described. So I'm not going to be putting concealer because I do not want anything to be like mixing with the foundation while I'm testing it, especially not on my like T-zone area. Okay, so this is the foundation on, and I didn't really put much on my forehead because my fringe will be covering my forehead, so that is pretty pointless. And I don't really feel the need to powder down because of how matte and like smooth this foundation already feels, but I will powder like one side just in case this foundation ends up breaking or separating and getting oily on my face. So we shall see if powdering does help like prolong the oil control or the longevity of this foundation. So I'll just powder my this side. So I am going to be using my Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder. This is the powder I always use if I want like superb oil control. Right, so this is the finished look for today. I'm going out for a short while, so I just have very light makeup on. I do have a bit of bronzer and blush. I did avoid like the areas I would normally get oily at, which is like on this part of my cheeks over here and on my nose. So I just put the bronzer and blush on parts that are usually like normal and they do not really get oily. So I'm not putting any highlighter on so that if I find any shine, I know it's from me and not my highlight. I forgot to mention that I do have normal to oily combo skin, and I think I'm at the time of the month where my skin is a little bit more oily than usual. But so we shall see how this foundation wears, and I'll check back in with you later. Alright, so foundation's been on my face for about 4 hours now, and honestly I think both sides look about the same. It's not super oily, but I do have like a film of oil on my face, and I think the foundation has worn down a bit on my nose, which is pretty normal. A lot of foundations wear off on my nose very quickly, so I'm just going to take a quick blot And there isn't much transfer, so that's good. Alright, so there's like minimal transfer on my tissue paper but not much oil, so I do think that the oil control of this foundation is pretty decent and very good in fact. And the rest of my face still feels very matte and smooth, so I like that very much as well. And yeah, it's been a hot and humid day and I've been out and about, but I wouldn't really say that I broke out in a sweat, so this is just like typical wear for a foundation, and I think it is holding up very well. So I'm still going to be wearing it for a few more hours before removing it, and we shall see like what happens next. Alright, I'm ending today's wear test at 6 hours, and so far I really like this foundation. Everything looks good. I mean, there's no separation or breaking down. There is no clinging onto dry areas of my face, like even the corners of my nose still look fine. There is no like crusting or redness showing through. So I think this foundation is performing very well in terms of oil control and longevity. But even so, I'll be testing it out for a few more days to like really finalize my thoughts on this foundation. So I'll check back in with you guys again tomorrow. So it is day 2 of the foundation test, and today I do have the Innisfree No Sebum Blur Primer underneath the foundation, and I also have some of the Colourpop No Filter Concealer on my face, mainly on my under eyes and certain spots on my face, not too much on the areas that I get oily. And I also set it with my Innisfree No Sebum Mineral Powder again. So yeah, it's going to be a long night for me, so I should be able to wear this foundation for a few more hours than I did yesterday and see how it goes. So it's been about 8 hours since I put on the foundation, and it has definitely worn off on like the tip of my nose over here. It was a really hot day and I ended up perspiring quite a bit. But for like the amount of perspiration I produced, I'm not too shiny at the moment. I mean, I did blot at about 5 hours in, so that also kind of helps. The foundation still looks pretty nice, but it is a bit cakey on my chin. I'm not sure why. Like, my skin looks a bit dry on my chin, so something's going on around here. But the rest of my face actually looks pretty decent for the amount of time the foundation was on my face. Hey guys, so I did wear this foundation again yesterday for about 12 hours, but I didn't manage to do any check-ins because it was getting really late at night and I just wanted to remove all my makeup and go to bed. But yeah, I really like this foundation and I would highly recommend it to you if you have oily skin or if you are looking for a new matte foundation. This one feels very lightweight on the skin and I really like the finish that it has on the skin, you know, that silky smooth texture of it. And it has pretty high coverage with decent oil control. It also lasts like a good amount of time. A normal like 8 hours of wear will be fine with this foundation. I wore it for 12 hours yesterday and it faded very nicely with no like cakiness or separating on my face. So yeah, I'm going to be ranking this foundation at number 4 underneath my Fenty foundation. Or you can call it like a number 3 spot because the Catrice and Fenty foundation do have similar formulas and ingredients, so they perform pretty much the same way. So yeah, I'm just like ranking it underneath those foundations because this foundation doesn't exactly hold up as long as those foundations can. So yeah, I hope you guys found this video review useful, especially if you're looking to purchase this foundation. Go ahead and get it. But yeah, thanks for tuning in with me and I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye bye!